Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. See, nah, this a legacy, boy. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.
Let's fight.
System, I don't want to be saved. I'm doing shit highway, on the highway, and in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip a switch and you can go and obtain anything you want.
Ready, bro. Firing all cylinders. Reaction time there, speed there. Spoke. That's what got him ready. Spoke.
Good. Good. Stay in your rhythm, champ. Stay in your rhythm. Your rhythm, your time, your fight. Let's go.
You trying hard? Good try. It's effort.
Observing Stevenson's training for Teofimo Lopez, it's evident that his camp is focused on navigating and controlling the early chaos of the fight, rather than waiting to excel once the action slows down.
How many rounds you do today? 17, right?
Teofimo is most threatening in the early rounds, so Shakur's training is tailored to handle immediate pressure. His camp focuses on fast-paced rounds, brief rest periods, and drills that force him to reset distance quickly after being rushed. The aim is to make high-pressure situations feel routine, so that winning under stress feels as natural as performing in calmer moments later in the fight.
Always have to point. I got you on my time. You got it?
A major focus of the training is correcting the small defensive lapses that appeared in recent bouts. Against Teofimo, even a single clean shot can be costly. That's why every jab and check hook is now paired with an immediate step back or angle adjustment. No standing still to watch punches land, and no giving Teofimo the confidence to force his way inside.
Get out of there, get out of there, get out of there. There we go, there we go. Left 15, all the way down.
I feel great. Sprints kind of be getting me right, get my conditioning right. Sometimes in the fight, a fight could turn into a sprint. Cause it's like, to start the pace fast as hell and then they can't keep up the pace. But the sprints will kind of get you in shape to where once you break down, sometimes you get a second win. Then you get another win. Then you get another win after that. So I did the sprints a lot in a Jamel Herring fight. That's why you seen me fight at a fast pace. And then once I slowed down, I picked it back up and I had all the energy in the world to do it. So we locked in.
Shakur's movement isn't about circling the ring endlessly. It's focused on small, controlled steps that keep Teofimo within range but off balance enough to prevent clean shots. Mentally, the camp emphasizes studying Teofimo's habits, how he lunges, how he commits to single punches, and how he resets afterward. By the middle rounds, those attacks start to feel predictable rather than threatening. The strategy isn't about knocking Teofimo out or overpowering him. It's about making him miss early, responding every time, and gradually eroding his confidence until his big bursts lose impact. Simply put, Shakur is training to make Teofimo work harder for less, turning the fight into a controlled, frustrating scenario that plays squarely to Shakur's advantage.
Yeah, let's do the rest centered up, I think. Oh, centered up? Okay, yeah. So he's looking right in the camera? Yeah, because he's talking.
Yeah, I'll land a punch on him. For sure.
Do you believe your opponent underestimates you?
I think my opponent is underestimating me because he said that I'm a slow one. He thinks that I'm too small.
This is where the methodical approach of Shakur Stevenson's training meets the hype and debate surrounding him. When a camp is built to handle chaos without panicking, the discussions stop being theoretical. Listening to analysts like Sean Porter and the team, you can sense the real argument beneath the jokes. Fans often say they want action and savagery, yet fighters who survive and thrive under pressure are sometimes unfairly criticized.
Shakur is extremely smart.
Okay.
I can guarantee you this is what Shakur is going to do. Shakur is going to come out middle of the ring, work that jab, work that pawn that he does, all that, the feints. He's going to try to touch him with the jab, but he's going to be waiting on his moments to snap with that right hand, waiting on his moments to counter, waiting on his moment. And when they're not there, he's just going to slide off, go for that little walk.
Porter's discussion about restarts, controlling space, and resetting the fight isn't about being boring. It's about draining Teofimo Lopez's energy, a fighter who relies on rhythm and momentum to pose a real threat.
Slide off, restart. Shakur is the kind of fighter that does not mind restarting. That was our thing, was once we start, we want to do the best we can to get away from another restart, because the restart allows you to reset, allows you that space, and stuff like that.
And when people say Shakur needs to show the dog, it's a bit ironic. Dogs get hit, and Shakur's career has been built on not letting opponents land clean shots. Fans complain about movement, yet Teofimo has had uneventful nights too, and suddenly the argument stalls. That's just boxing. Still, the wild card factor is real. Teofimo can change a fight in a single explosive moment.
The thing that I like about Shakur, though, is, we already know the statistical numbers in terms of how much he gets hit per round and even per fight, which is
low.
But the other side of that is offensively, he's very accurate. Very accurate.
Shakur wins by steadily eliminating his opponent's options round by round. My take: the more fans demand that he fight differently, the more he simply becomes himself. He's not chasing applause. He's controlling the minutes. If Teofimo can't force exchanges, that twitchy aggression turns into shadow boxing with real consequences.
While we don't like that he might throw 30, 40 punches around, he's usually on point when he throws. He don't miss. He finds his moments, and then he turns it on. The difference is when he turns it on is he's delivered that power to a point where we actually sit back and all right, round after round, like, all right, he's losing these rounds.
We're not debating skill versus excitement. We're debating whether patience should be criticized for being quiet. That's what makes this fight dangerous in both directions. Chaos only works if it's allowed, and Shakur trains to never give it. If he maintains control, some will call it boring, even as his precision shines. And if chaos breaks through, people act surprised, even though they asked for it.
Now, listen, man, we're talking about a situation. We're talking about a situation where a fighter could be smart enough to just be right on point. What I mean by that is we could be in a situation where both these guys kind of coasting through.
Either way, someone's reality will be challenged, and that's what keeps me locked in, eyes open, bias set aside. Watching discipline get tested under real pressure, not online chatter or nostalgia, but in live rounds with actual consequences.
Teo's finding moments to steal moments in every round and steal rounds and actually win on the scorecard simply because he did just a little bit more. Simply because he was just a little bit more active. I don't know.
Right after Porter broke down restarts and patience like a veteran who's been through those moments, Bernie, the boxer, offered a fresh perspective. Without even raising his voice, he made it clear that most people are missing the real point of this fight. Bernie explained that Shakur isn't just hard hit. He occupies that tricky range where opponents feel bold enough to strike, but are still too far to land cleanly. I couldn't help but nod. This is the Mayweather effect he's describing. Not flashy, just quiet frustration accumulating round by round.
No, well, Shakur has the ability to diffuse you, so I think he has the Mayweather effect where he can diffuse you. It's just on if he's going to take the more risk, to stamp his victory, you know what I mean? He's gonna let his hands go in the times that he could using his speed, so that's just what I think it is with that. I think he know how to nullify what you're doing.
When Bernie points out that Teofimo hasn't looked dominant recently, it comes across less as criticism and more as a warning. You can't show up unprepared against a fighter who turns calmness into control. He noted that Teofimo gets tagged, slowed down, and loses sharpness, which matters a lot when facing Shakur Stevenson, a boxer who doesn't rush greatness. He methodically earns it. I appreciated how Bernie framed it as Shakur's fight to define himself, not Teofimo's, because that's pressure disguised as patience.
Sometimes he leads in some fights, he's not as capitalized as much as you think he could, So I think that's going to be it. If you make him miss, make him pay 2 or 3, not just one counter punch, So I think that's the thing will be about it. And I'm sure that he will, I'm sure that he will. Of course, he's going to be a little cautious at first, but Teo ain't knocking nobody out neither.
You're not just facing the man across the ring. You're facing expectations, promotion, superstardom, and your own patience. Bernie noted that Teofimo had the lane after Lomachenko, but let it slip. And that hit hard because boxing doesn't wait for anyone to feel ready. Then he went straight for the uncomfortable truth. If you can't hit Shakur, how are you supposed to hurt him? Suddenly, all the talk about power starts to sound theoretical. I laughed when Bernie questioned the mythic Teofimo power, because facts don't care about highlight reels, and lately the damage hasn't matched the reputation. When he compared Shakur to Mayweather in terms of neutralizing opponents, it wasn't praise, it was a diagnosis. You can swing all night, but if nothing lands clean, confidence erodes. Bernie also pointed out that this fight would determine whether Shakur crosses into superstardom. Winning isn't enough anymore. It has to be undeniable. We're watching to see if control finally gets its recognition or if chaos takes over again.
I'm just, so the kid, he in a good position, and if he is able to win against Teofimo Lopez, he will be a lineal champion in 2 weights. And okay, Teo, he's done that. So if he beats Teo, he equals that accomplishment, and he beats him. So I would definitely say he's the best boxer. He's the best one.
Right after Bernie framed Shakur as a slow drip frustration machine, Jose Benavidez Sr. steps in with the perspective of someone who's watched too many talented fighters lose to their own habits. The tone subtly shifts. Jose says Shakur is incredibly skilled, but almost too responsible. And I laugh because that's the politest way of saying, yes, he'll win, but don't expect thrills every round. When he talked about Shakur not taking unnecessary risks, it comes across as respect mixed with a gentle challenge. You could do more, right? And when he recalls that one performance where Shakur stayed in the pocket and made everyone blink, that's the ghost haunting this fight. It shows why every measured round feels like he's leaving some opportunity on the table. Jose isn't criticizing, he's diagnosing. Shakur deliberately chooses control over spectacle, and you can't fault a man for protecting his future, even if fans crave fireworks on demand.
Shakur Stevenson's fucking insane. He's good. He knows how to win fights. He doesn't risk as much, and I think he should because he's really good at it. But he just sometimes makes fights so boring. The only one that I like is the one that he fought. And look, that's spectacular. Yeah, inside. He stayed inside. He showed. I was like, what the fuck? And all the other fights, I would just fall asleep, bro, too.
Then Jose turns his attention to Teofimo Lopez, and that's where it gets truly human. He calls Teofimo a showman, not in a mocking way, but in the sense that he does things in the ring you can't really teach. That rang true, because Teofimo's talent has always been loud. But Jose also drops a quiet warning. Boxing punishes distraction, and Teofimo has been through a lot. That's not gossip, it's experience speaking. When Jose says that a focused Teofimo is dangerous, that's not hype, it's a conditional fact. A focused Teofimo is a real threat. An unfocused Teofimo is unpredictable. I appreciate how he refuses to take sides, calling it 50-50, because that shows this fight isn't about styles on paper, it's about who shows up complete. We're not just watching skills clash, we're watching disciplined wrestle temptation. And anyone familiar with boxing knows which usually comes out on top when the lights are brightest.
And they have so much talent and they just lose a little bit of focus, and boxing will make you pay for that, you know? So I'm just hoping that he's 100% back and focused. And man, when he's focused, that guy is dangerous, you know? So if he's focused, we're having a great fight. We're having a good fight. And you can't blink because both of these guys have power. So, or they can hurt each other, you know?
When you put all together, the way Shakur built his camp to make chaos feel normal, Porter breaking down restarts and controlling danger, Bernie pointing out that cursed range where confidence can die, and Jose reminding us that discipline and focus intent shape careers, you realize this fight isn't about who's flashier or louder. Teofimo thrives on moments, emotion, and bursts of action. Shakur thrives on minutes, control, and denial. One fighter needs a night to speed up, the other needs it to slow down. That's why every round feels like a test rather than a highlight reel. One clean disruption can flip the story, but sustained control rewrites it entirely. This isn't good versus evil or boring versus exciting. It's philosophy versus philosophy with gloves on, and someone's truth is revealed every time the bell rings.
And I'm just so happy that this fight got made, and I'm looking forward to see this fight.
Absolutely, man. It's nice to see these guys the best fight the best. Who do you favor in the fight?
I like I said, you know, both of them are so good, and like I said, whoever shows up that night is the one that's going to be more focused and take that fight.
Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments, debate it, don't hold back. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.